Hello and welcome back to the English Grammar Mastery course. My name is Sai Sarath, and in this lesson we are going to learn about adjectives and different types of adjectives. And then we will focus on how to avoid mistakes and use the adjectives correctly in our sentences. Before we start, just remember that if you have any questions at all, you can ask me those in the Q&A section or email me and I will get back to you personally as soon as possible. So without any delay, let us begin our lesson. First of all, let us understand what adjectives are. An adjective modifies or gives more information about the noun or pronoun. They tell us about the quality, quantity, number, or the order of the noun it describes. For example, take this apple. By using the adjective red, we can describe the color of the apple so that we can picture a red apple in our mind. If we say green apple, the other person can picture a green apple in his mind. That is what adjectives do. They describe the nouns or pronouns so that we can paint a clearer picture in our minds. So we may define an adjective as a word used with a noun or pronoun to add something to its meaning. Take a look at this sentence. There are two big spiders in my room. Focus on the noun spiders. Now focus on the words which are describing or giving more information about the noun spiders. We can see that the words two and big are giving more information about spiders. These words are what we call adjectives. These adjectives answer the questions like how many, what size, etc. In this example, the adjectives occur before the noun, but they can also appear after the noun or pronoun, like in this example. The food was hot and delicious. Focus on the noun food and then the words which give more information about food, hot and delicious. These words are adjectives and in this case they come after the noun. There are several types of adjectives, each with their own unique purpose and usage. We will go through the most common ones in this lesson, starting with the descriptive adjectives. The descriptive adjectives describe the quality or characteristics of a noun or pronoun. For example, if we were describing this cute little kitten, we might use the descriptive adjectives fluffy or cute to provide more detail about its appearance and personality. Let us see some more examples to better understand descriptive adjectives. Take a look at this sentence. The leaves turned orange and red. In this sentence, the word leaves is a noun and the words orange and red are describing about the color of the noun leaves. So the word orange and red are examples of descriptive adjectives. Let us see another example. She is a clever girl. In this sentence, the word she is a pronoun. Girl is a noun and the word clever is describing about the noun girl. So clever is an example of descriptive adjective. The next type of adjective that we will be learning about is demonstrative adjective. The demonstrative adjectives are used to indicate the proximity or distance of the noun or pronoun being described. They include the words this, that, these, and those. They modify a noun and give more information about it, helping to specify which one is being referred to. For example, if we were talking about that car over there, we might use the demonstrative adjective that to indicate its distance from us. Look at this sentence. This watch is cheaper than that one. This is a demonstrative adjective modifying the noun watch and telling us which watch we are demonstrating. Please don't get confused between demonstrative pronouns that we learnt in our previous lesson with demonstrative adjectives. You have to observe the part of speech and understand their usage. The main difference between demonstrative adjectives and demonstrative pronouns is that demonstrative adjectives, as the name suggests, modifies a noun, whereas demonstrative pronoun takes the place of a noun or replaces a noun. Let me give you one example to explain the difference. In the sentence, "This is my book," this is a demonstrative adjective modifying the noun book, whereas in the sentence, "This is mine," this is a demonstrative pronoun standing in for the noun it refers to and acts as the subject of the sentence. Okay, now let us move on to the next type of adjective, interrogative adjective. Interrogative adjectives are used to ask questions about a noun or pronoun. They help us to gain more information about the noun or pronoun being described. The most commonly used interrogative adjectives are what, which, and whose. They are used to ask questions about the characteristics of a noun or to specify which one is being referred to. For example, in the sentence, "Which book is yours?" which is an interrogative adjective modifying the noun book. We also learnt about something called interrogative pronouns in our previous lesson. Please remember that the main difference between interrogative adjectives and interrogative pronouns is that the former modifies a noun and asks a questions about its characteristics, while the latter takes the place of a noun and asks questions about the identity of a person or thing. Unlike the interrogative adjectives, interrogative pronouns can stand alone as subject or object of a sentence and are used to ask questions about the identity of a person or thing. For example, in the sentence, "Who is at the door?" who is an interrogative pronoun and acts as the subject of the sentence, asking about the identity of the person at the door. In the sentence, "Which button turns off the lights?" the word "which" is an interrogative adjective as it is modifying the noun button. Okay, so the next type of adjective that we will be learning is possessive adjective. Possessive adjectives are adjectives that show ownership or a relationship between a noun and a person or thing. They include the words my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. They appear before the noun they modify and indicate who or what the noun belongs to or is associated with. For example, in the sentence, "This is my mother's car," my is a possessive adjective modifying the noun mother. Remember that we also learnt about something called possessive pronoun in our previous lesson. You just have to observe the part of speech and understand its usage based on that. The main difference between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns is that the possessive adjective appears before a noun to indicate its ownership, while the possessive pronoun takes the place of a noun and show ownership on their own. For example, in the sentence, "That watch is mine," mine is a possessive pronoun standing in for the noun watch and indicating that it belongs to the speaker. In the sentence, "Govind spent the day with his parents," the word "his" is the possessive adjective as it is modifying the noun parents. The next type of adjective that we will be learning is distributive adjective. Distributive adjectives are used to describe individual member of a group. They are used to distribute a quality or attribute to each member of a group. Distributive adjectives are often used with plural nouns and they are used to describe each individual member of the group. For example, consider the sentence, "Each student gets a prize." In this sentence, each is a distributive adjective as it is used to describe each individual student in the group. You can use the distributive adjective every to describe each member of a group, such as in the sentence, "Every student has their own book." Here, the adjective every emphasizes that each student has their own book rather than the students sharing a single book. Let us see another example. In the sentence, every member of the team scored a goal, the word every is an example of distributive adjective as it modifies the noun member. The next type of adjective is compound adjective. Compound adjectives are formed by combining two or more adjectives to create a new word. These adjectives are hyphenated and they are used to describe a noun in a more specific way. Compound adjectives can be used to create new words that are not found in the dictionary. For example, consider the sentence, she has a 2-year-old son. In this sentence, 2-year-old is a compound adjective as it is formed by combining 2, year and old to describe the son in a more specific way. Let us take another example. In the sentence, he arrived in a bright red car. Bright red is a compound adjective describing the noun car. The combination of bright and red creates a more specific description of the color of the car. Okay, so the next type of adjective that we will be learning about is comparative adjective. Comparative adjectives are adjectives that compare two things, showing the difference between them. They are used to describe the relative difference between two nouns in terms of size, quality, quantity, or degree. The most common way to form a comparative adjective is by adding er to the end of a short adjective or more before a long adjective. For example, in the sentence, the cat is bigger than the mouse. Bigger is a comparative adjective comparing the size of the cat and mouse. In the sentence, whales are larger animals than dolphins. The word larger is a comparative adjective as it is comparing the size of two animals. The last type of adjective that we will be learning in this lesson is superlative adjective. Superlative adjectives are used to compare more than two people or things by indicating which one is the most supreme or extreme. They are used to describe the extreme or the best version of an adjective among a group of things. They are formed by adding est to the end of a short adjective or most or least before a long adjective. Let us see some examples to better understand them. In the sentence, Rahul is the fastest member of our team, we are comparing Rahul with the rest of team members and saying that he is the fastest of all of them. In the sentence, the dog is the friendliest of all the animals, we are comparing dog with all the other animals and we are saying that dog is the friendliest of all those animals. Okay, now that we have learned about the different types of adjectives, let us see some areas where people usually make mistakes. One of the most common areas where majority of people make mistake is comparison. Take a look at this sentence. Which of these two books is the best? Does it sound grammatically correct? Okay, now let us see another sentence. Which of these two books is better? Now, which of these two sentences do you think is correct? Well, if you are one of those who think first sentence is correct, then I'm sorry, you made a mistake. The second sentence is the correct one because you are comparing only two books and choosing the better one out of them. Another area where people commonly make mistake with adjective is the order of adjectives. Sometimes when describing a noun with more than one adjective, student can make mistake by putting the adjectives in the wrong order. There is a specific order to follow when using multiple adjectives, and it depends on the function of the adjective. The usual order to follow is article, number, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. If you use multiple adjectives from different categories, they function as cumulative adjectives and don't need commas between them. However, If you use several adjectives from the same category, they are coordinate adjectives and need commas between them, but the order doesn't matter. Remembering the order of adjectives can be tricky, but a helpful trick is to remember the first letters of each type of adjective. ANOSASCOMP, anosascomp. Let us see some examples to better understand it. The stupid, pointless, frustrating homework assignment. Here, all the adjectives used are of one category, that is, opinion adjectives. So they need commas and they could be rearranged like the frustrating, pointless, stupid homework assignment. But the meaning and the originality will not change. Let us see another example. In the sentence, it was made of a strange green metallic material. Since we are using adjectives of different category, we can avoid commas and more importantly follow the right order. I can also say this sentence as it was made of metallic strange green material, or maybe it was made of green metallic strange material. But both of these sentences sound odd, so it is better to use the correct order of adjectives to make you sound more natural, more fluent, and showcase your command on the language. I know what you are thinking. Sir, this is too complicated for me to remember. Should we remember this all? Well, let me tell you one thing. No need to remember all this. Just read and understand it once, and then eventually, in our language learning journey, we will apply all these rules naturally. Okay, so that brings an end to the topic adjectives and their types. Let us quickly revise what we have learned in this lesson. First of all, we understood what are adjectives and how to use them. Then we learned about the different types of adjectives like descriptive, demonstrative, interrogative, possessive, distributive, compound, superlative, and comparative adjectives. We then learned about some important points to remember to avoid making any grammatical mistakes. I hope that you now have a better understanding about adjectives and their types. To further strengthen your grasp on this topic, let us put your knowledge to test with a practice exercise. You have to identify the adjectives and its types for the following sentences. You can pause the video and attempt the exercise. To check the answers, you can refer the material given below. So that was it about adjectives and the types. After watching this lesson, you can go through the material given below and test your understanding through a quiz given there. In the next lesson, you will learn about verbs and their types. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you and happy